polenta. Polenta is basically sweet corn that has been crushed, and in a country like America it's called corn grits. In South Africa it would be called mealie meal or putu in one of the African languages. But really it's corn and it's crushed and we're cooking it, and I'm going to show you how to make it sweet and how to make it savoury. First what I'm going to do is the savoury version, and to that I'm going to, you bring the water to the boil, and it's about 8 cups of water to 1 to 2 cups of polenta. Now that depends on whether or not it's hot, cold, and what it looks like. And I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. So you can see it's not a science. Polenta is very much an Italian food, and as an Italian food it likes to be touched and felt and coaxed and hugged, and you've got to feel it. And if it feels right, then it's right. It's just that simple. So I'm going to be adding some of my veg stock in there. Just before I do that, I like to shake it. The salt tends to settle, the finer particles settle to the bottom, and then you just get most of the vegetables at the top. So I give it a nice shaking, and then I'm going to add about a teaspoon or 2 to that. It's great for the savoury polenta. And polenta is a grain that is very nutritious. It's very high in beta-carotene and the carotenoids because of the yellow color. And it's high in iron and calcium and potassium and magnesium. I might need a little bit more veg stock in there, I'm not sure. Let's take a little bit more of the salty portion, and I'll taste it and see. You bring the water to the boil. I put 2 liters in, so I'm going to add 1 to 2 cups, and I'm going to see what it looks like. So you can have a look at it. The whole idea is to firstly be careful. This stuff can pop up and burn you on your hands. So it should be boiling, and as you put it in, the temperature will drop, and then you turn it down and simmer it. You don't boil it vigorously. The water boils vigorously, but the polenta simmers gently. But be kind to it and love it. And I'm going to add probably another, let's try half a cup and see. Once it's brought to the boil, you turn it down if it's the right consistency. So it starts to thicken, and you need to make polenta with a wooden spoon. It just likes having a wooden spoon. It stirs better, it stops it getting lumpy. As I said, it's not a science, it's a feeling there. Add probably the rest of it. So it's 2 cups to, it's about 1 part to, and it's getting a bit vigorous, so we're going to turn that down. And you can see it's thickening nicely. Turn it down a little bit more. Oh, there's a lump of polenta right there, just squish it. Turn it down some more. Bring it to a gentle, and turn it down to simmer. And when you've got it down to simmer, you put the lid on. And here's the thing with polenta. As I said, it's Italian, it likes to be stroked and touched. Every 5 minutes or 10 minutes you come back and you stir it. Oops. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and stir that. I'm also going to be making a pot with plain salt in it. I'm just going to swap this round and pop it back again so that I can make a sweet version. Alright, it's starting to boil, so I'm going to add the polenta to that, just 1 cup. Alright, you can see that's starting to boil. And we're going to turn it down, right down to simmer. And we're going to pop the lid on and carry on cooking. Right, so this has been simmering for a little while, and you can see it's thickened beautifully. That's the consistency that it should look like. So we're going to stir it a little while, a couple of stirs, pop the lid on, and walk away for 5 or 10 minutes and go and do something else. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh, absolutely perfect. So what we need now, give it 1 more stir, and then we're going to pour it out onto a surface. Let's just put a little bit of olive oil on here. Oops, that's a bit much. Wonderful hand and body lotion olive oil. And I put the olive oil just to stop it sticking. That was a bit extravagant. And I'm going to pour it out like this to make some polenta pizzas and some polenta chips. And then we're going to let it set. If you want to put some polenta on a plate, you can serve it like that with some beans or some olive oil or some fresh tomato. You can just have some fresh tomato with this, olive oil, some seasoning salt or some herb salt. Garlic and herb salt, and a little bit of olive oil. And you can eat it as a savoury dish. You can have that with beans, you can have it with tomato based sauce, you could have it with a creamy mushroom sauce, you could just eat it as it is with olive oil and salt. Right, and this is the sweet. I'm going to be using this for the sweet polenta. Remember, I put in plain salt. That's what it looks like. This can be eaten just like a porridge on a winter's morning, or even for that matter an evening. There's no rule that says you have to have porridge for breakfast. Who says you can't have it for supper? The Scots do. So you can put some raw honey or some date syrup or some maple syrup. Kids and adults love this. My husband Mark, this is one of his favourite things to eat. And of course, if I'm going to have it, I have a bit of cinnamon on there as well. That's it. So you've got 2 dishes and 2 more to come. We're going to be doing polenta chips and polenta pizza. Okay, the polenta is all nice and cooled now, and I've already taken the liberty of cutting some of them into chip-sized pieces. And you're just going to pop those onto your tray, your baking sheet, which you're going to put into an oven. Now I have got my gas barbecue out, which we never barbecue meat because we're vegan. But we use it for making the most amazing polenta pizzas and polenta chips, and our gluten-free pizzas as well, and our gluten-free pizza bases. So there's lots you can do with your gas barbecue. You can grill vegetables, grill corn on the cob. So you can fry these in coconut oil as well. But I'm going to do them in the gas barbecue because they do already have a bit of olive oil on them. And they're going to go crispy and brown on the outside and beautifully soft on the inside. They look really pathetic when you do this, but they taste incredible. And then I'm going to divide this into 8 equal slices, which you can keep in your refrigerator. You don't need to cook this straight away. You can make this the day before, otherwise it feels like it's a huge amount of work. Alright, I'm going to put some on this other sheet as well. And I'm going to make some polenta waffles. I didn't include that. That's another dish you can make, which are absolutely delicious. I'm going to add a little bit of cashew mayonnaise, or cashew cream actually. This is just cashews blended, 1 cup of cashews blended with 2 cups of water, 2 to 3 cups of water, and our garlic and herb salt and some mustard seed. Popping this into the gas barbecue, temperature sitting at 600 degrees. The paper is a bit bigger than the tray, and in it goes until it's crisp and golden. Right, let's see. Oh my word, look at this beautiful waffle here. Isn't that amazing? Oh gosh. really warm. Whoa. Right, what we've got is a beautiful waffle here. Nice and crisp underneath, like a pizza oven. That's what's so nice. You don't need a pizza oven. And these are nice and brown underneath as well. So again, here a bit of honey. If you're strict vegan, you can use maple syrup, or you can use date syrup. And again, a bit of cinnamon, and it's like eating a waffle. It's a polenta waffle. It's too delicious. And that's a lovely dessert. You can make a cashew cream with cashews, some fructose, vanilla, and some water, and you can pour that on top as well. And what I've got over here is the polenta pizza, and I've got the savoury plain version over here. You may want to put a little bit of tomato on there, and some avocado. Or if you've got really fussy, or you feel like eating really plain food, you can have polenta you can have it like toast and avocado. Or you can put avocado on top of that, or you can leave the avocado off. It's entirely up to you. It's just the basics. A little bit of herb salt on there. Maybe a bit of freshly ground black pepper. And the polenta chips will be out in 2 seconds. Polenta chips, lovely and crisp and crunchy on the outside. It's got a real bit of a roasted bit underneath there, and you can serve this with some homemade tomato sauce. I put a little bit of that cashew cream in here, so it's creamy, and some slices of avocado to make sure you have your raw food. And there you have it. We've got polenta chips, polenta pizza, polenta waffles. We have polenta eaten as a porridge, and we've got polenta eaten savoury with beans or tomatoes. 5 things you can do with polenta, and we haven't even included polenta gnocchi. Subscribe, and you'll learn a whole lot more about healthy eating. Plant-based, gluten-free, wonderful food.